ညောင်ရုံမြင့်တန်ကြားပြည်သက်များရှင်ရခိုင်ပြည်နယ်အတွင်းဖြစ်ပွားခဲ့တဲ့စူပူမှုများဟာအကြမ်းဖက်တောင်းကျမ်းမှုအတွင်းပြောင်းလဲလာခဲ့ပြီးအပြစ်မဲ့ဒေသခံတိုင်းရင်းသားတွေတာဝန်ထမ်းဆောင်နေတဲ့နိုင်ငံဝန်ထမ်းတွေကိုအကြမ်းဖက်တပ်ဖြတ်မှုများလှုံ့ဆော်လာကြပါတယ်။ဒါအပြင်လုံခြုံရေးစခန်းတွေကိုဝင်ရောက်တိုက်ခိုက်ပြီးနိုင်ငံတော်ရဲ့အချုပ်အခြာအာဏာကိုထိပါလာတဲ့အတွက်တပ်မတော်အနေနဲ့အဲ့ဒီအကြမ်းဖက်တောင်းကျမ်းမှုတွေကိုနှိမ်နင်းခဲ့ရပါတယ်။ပဋိပက္ခဖြစ်စဉ်များကိုကမ္ဘာကသိနိုင်မှုဥပဒေနဲ့အညီလှုံ့ဆော်ပေးခဲ့တော့လဲပြည်ပမီဒီယာအချို့ကလူရဆွဲမဟုတ်မမှန်လှုပ်ကြံသတင်းတွေထုတ်လွှင့်ခဲ့ကြပါတယ်။အဲ့ဒီအခြေအနေတွေကိုတုံ့ပြန်နိုင်မှုအတွက်တင်နင်္ဂမဟာဗျူဟာလေးလာရေးဖွဲ့က The Hidden Reality of Rakhine Situation Behind the Media Marks ခေါင်းစဉ်နဲ့ဆွေးနွေးပွဲတစ်ရက်ကိုရန်ကုန်မြို့ရှိ Novotel ရန်ကုန် Mass Hotel မှာအောက်တိုဘာ26ရက်ကကျင်းပခဲ့ပြီးဘလို့အကြောင်းအရာတွေကိုဆွေးနွေးခဲ့ကြတယ်ဆိုတာကိုမြရရုံမြင့်တန်းကြားပရိသတ်များအတွက်တင်ဆက်မှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်ရှင်။
Good morning, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Naisweu, founder and executive director at the Thayninga Institute for Strategic Study. And on behalf of the organizing committee of this event and Thayninga Institute for Strategic Studies, I would like to extend a very special welcome to all our distinguished guests this morning who are attending the hidden reality of Rakhine situation behind the media must stop. First, I'd like to briefly explain about our institution. We established our institute in 2015. Our mission is to set up, first and the foremost, independent civilian think tanks specialized in the field of defense and security in Myanmar. We have organized security forum and discussion during the past year. This is the fit of our security thoughts. We also published Thayninga Weapons and International Warfare magazine quarterly. As we all know that the situation in the Rakhine state is very complicated and confusing. I believe that most of the people of the world do not know the reality of the Rakhine situation. We, as the citizens of Myanmar, have the responsibility to explain the world about the real situation in Rakhine state. Our institute submitted amicus curiae to the International Criminal Court in July, but it was rejected by the regional and founders' rules. We will never surrender on this. That is why we organized these special events. Today's program is divided into 3 sessions. First, Mr. Rakhine and Umamonye will present their field experiences in recent visits to Rakhine State. Second part is our panel discussion. The panelists are Mr. Rakhine, Dr. Ajan, Umamonye. The moderator will be U Thayninga, and the final part is the Q&A session. Now, I'd like to tell the brief above Mr. Rakhine. He has a long and very touching history with Myanmar, especially Rakhine State. He has visited Myanmar 30 times now. Usually a man at the time, giving him a total of over 2-year experience in the field. The first time was in 1981 during Burmese Socialist Program Party ruling era. He has visited Myanmar 6 times before 1988 uprising. His 3 major pursuits in Myanmar are music and ethnomusicology, humanitarian and educational projects, and political and democracy work. Riz is primarily a professional musician, a music teacher, composer, and ethnomusicologist. He founded a private music school at Music Academy in Yangon in 1996. In the mid-1990s, Rick started doing projects in various parts of the country, especially in a very remote area. These include building schools, assisting orphanages, helping a very remote leprosy colony, treating 500 kids, and more. Research often are consulted for many things concerning Myanmar films, books, articles, political insights, and is currently involved with many things concerning Myanmar, which are music education and concerts, education and humanitarian projects, film, books, and more. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Rakhine to deliver his field experience in Rakhine State. Mr. Riz, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Mingalaba. Okay. On behalf of the people, the culture, the shared culture, the nation of Myanmar, and its progress and development in many aspects, including human rights, ethnic recognition, and implementation of freedoms and democracy, that's why I'm here. Okay. Thank you for the intro about me, so I don't need to tell you now my experience here. You just heard that. In talking about the subject of today's event, I will criticize and point out facts and analysis that should not be thought of as anti-Muslim or anti-Rohingya or Islamophobic, because that is just a cowardly way of addressing the issues that need to be talked about. Let me say, as I have said before, that there are many good Muslims in the world and also in this country of Myanmar that have blended into the dominant culture and are part of the fabric of the nation. The Pante, Kaman, those Muslim cultures particularly are not aggressive or militant, dogmatic, nor supremacist, and they are largely opposed to the manners and the ideology of the Bengali Muslims. And they do not want to be thought of as having the same characteristics as the Bengalis. In much of the world, the manner in which the demonization and accusations against the Rakhine Buddhist people, the Burmese Buddhists, even Buddhism itself, and the entire country is feverishly one-sided, unjust, and unfair, as if nobody even needs to bother listening to the Buddhists, the Hindus, Myo, Kami, Tet, Daignet, and others who are suffering severe losses in their own homeland. So I urge all of you to temporarily drop your opinions and thoughts on this issue, as one needs to do with any important and complex subject, and open your minds to the possibility that there may be a different reality happening that has been obscured, deliberately obscured at times, manipulated and manufactured, leading to a deliberate misinterpretation and unjustified accusations against the Buddhists. Before we start the film in a minute, I will inform you that after the film, I will talk about my recent time in the restricted zones of Mongda, Butitang, and Ratidang, where I have spent over half a month now. And I had permission that gave me full access, no restrictions at all, including going to all of the so-called massacre sites. So let's see the film. Please open your minds and enjoy it. Historic land known to the West as Rakhine, there existed a great, powerful Buddhist kingdom for many, many centuries. Obscure history and politics, this remote, isolated, little-known land is now becoming known and recognized. The legacy of Rakhine is still very much alive, and the Buddhists of Rakhine are proud of their unique culture. However, they are in great danger as encroaching Islamic forces are trying to annihilate them and all other non-Muslims and destroy the deeply rooted indigenous Buddhist culture and even Buddhism itself. The Rakhinese in their own homeland for centuries have had to fight off and repel countless attempts by Muslims to destroy them. For 1,400 years, Muslim armies have annihilated every Buddhist culture they encountered in massive genocides from the formerly Buddhist lands of ancient Persia, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Central Asia, and India. 500 years ago, the Muslim genocidal conquest reached the borders of the Buddhist kingdom of Rakhine. Muslim armies tried and failed many times to conquer the Rakhinese. If ever the Muslims succeed, this unique culture of the world would be gone forever in a massive genocidal ethnic cleansing. A magnificent royal city called Mya'u was the capital of the last dynasty of the powerful and prosperous Buddhist kingdom of Rakhine from 1433 until 1784. In 1826, the British annexed Rakhine, incorporating it into the British Indian Empire. During World War II, Rakhine was the scene of horrific fighting as British and American troops fought ferocious battles to drive the Japanese out. The ancient royal capital, Mya'u, with its many Buddhist temples and structures spread over a very large area, constitute one of the largest ruined Buddhist cities in the world and is the heart of the Rakhine Buddhist identity. For centuries, Rakhine was the strongest kingdom in the Bay of Bengal area and beyond. It ruled over vast areas, including Chittagong in present-day Bangladesh, which itself has a history of close to 2,000 years of Vedic, Hindu, and Buddhist empires. From the 15 to 1700s, Mya'u was at its highest and most prosperous period and was a highly developed world city. The design and layout of Mya'u and its architecture, temples, sculptures were as great or even greater than other grand cities of Asia and Europe, such as Pagan, Angkor Wat, Ayutthaya, Prambanan, Lisbon, Venice, Amsterdam, and London. Mya'u had complex defense systems, utilizing the natural hills, streams, and rivers, while incorporating moats, earthen ramparts, walls, and forts to protect the central city and palace. The Rakhine ships were fast, their sailing techniques were skillful, and their weaponry was advanced, all due to Portuguese influence and the alliance they had with each other. Being a port city, Mya'u hosted many different people of many faiths: Buddhist from Ceylon, Siam, Cambodia, and the Burmese kingdoms of Toungoo and Pegu; Hindus from the Indian ports of Musalipatam and Nagapatam, the Maldive Islands, and Champa; Christians of Portugal, Holland, France, and Great Britain; and Muslims from Persia, Aceh, Bengal, and Malacca, all who came and went with an astonishing assortment of goods to trade, bargain, buy, and sell. The Augustinian friar Sebastian Manrique, who lived in Rakhine for 8 years in the early 1600s, described life in the capital of Mya'u. So numerous were the different classes of dress and language that the eyes were kept busy distinguishing the different nationalities by their apparel. All these foreigners formed streets of shops filled with a great variety of such articles as are produced by the earth: diamonds, rubies, sapphires, emeralds, topazes, gold and silver in plates and bars, copper, amber, musk, incense, camphor, indigo, borax, quicksilver, saltpeter, pepper, cinnamon, ginger, cardamoms, nutmeg, mace, and cloves. Many cloths of the finest cotton and much rich silk were on view, with ebony, ivory, and porcelain. In spite of the great crowds, there was no confusion, but many dances and other entertainments were going on in the midst of them, and the whole scene was most festive. The number of people going to and fro along the canals in every kind of boat was no less. Rakhine is littered with an astonishing amount of ancient Buddhist relics, ruins, artifacts, and temples. There are ancient Buddhist artifacts in rice fields, forests, and villages, poking out of the thick foliage. Anytime someone digs a hole there, there is a good chance that they will find an ancient statue, relic, or foundation stones of a centuries-old structure. There are amazing spiraling tunnels under some of the biggest temples of Mia'u, with astonishingly detailed and painted stone carvings depicting so many figurines, from earthy common people and animals to mythological and celestial beings. One can walk in concentric circles around and around, reaching a central shrine in the middle. These are very unique to Arakan. One does not see this technique of temple building, nor these stylings of all the carved figurines, animals, and celestial deities in surrounding areas. These are indeed cultural treasures of the world. Also, very unique to Arakan are the Buddhist caves carved into the exposed rock cliffs. These caves are in Ponajan, an hour or two from Sitwe. This is in Paukta, several hours by very pleasant boat from Sitwe. This is in southern Rakhine State, near the very pleasant town of Chaukpu. Notice the fascinating figures that are prominent in the folk and mythological lore of the Arakanese. In northern Rakhine State, we have Zichang, close to Ratedong, with many folk-like figures on the outside and then mesmerizing colors and serenity inside the caves.